Hey everyone, welcome to this new moon Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday and Friday, December 6th and 7th, 2018. All right, so we have a new moon right in between the constellations of Scorpio and Ophiuchus. If you were expecting me to say Sagittarius just then, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. We are using what's called true Sidereal Astrology, which does change the signs. All right, so new moon right in between these two very deep constellations. Starts off a lunar month now of doing what you might call shadow work, diving deep and becoming aware of the deeper aspects of ourself and of life that as we become aware of and accept, we integrate and it becomes part of our more true self, right? We integrate all these sort of lost aspects of ourself so we can become more individuated and connected to our true self. So with this new moon, there is a bit of buoyancy energy about it. Even though it's deep, it is going to be conjunct up to Jupiter, giving us perhaps a bit of wisdom, maybe opportunity to do some of this deep diving. The new moon is also square up to Mars and Neptune, who are conjunct these 2 days. So there could be a bit of mixed energy where maybe there's a bit of apathy, yet we're kind of frustrated and want to assert ourselves or take some actions, but we're kind of uncertain about it. Or there's low energy and high energy. So really good ways of really being present and taking action by listening to our guts, but also our intuition as well. And Mercury is stationed direct, so there is a bit of forward-moving ideas and maybe some things that we've been reflecting on the past few weeks starting to move forward. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the chart for the new moon. So it is going to be at 02:36 Eastern time on Friday morning. That's Eastern time of the Americas. So you can make that calculation for wherever you are in the world, but all of us, for all intents and purposes, will be feeling it Thursday and especially Friday. So the new moon is a very low energy time. I really want to make that emphasized here is that this is a time of being receptive, letting the energies sort of die down and seeing what new beginnings are starting to take root from this sort of reset, this whole new lunar cycle that is starting here. Now with the new moon right in between these two constellations, Scorpio and Ophiuchus, this is the very deep part of the sky. They're both very similar. In fact, both constellations are right on top of each other in the sky. So very similar, but the Scorpio side to it does help bring up a lot of awareness about the things that are hidden to ourselves, all right, or normally hidden in life. And so during this, we can become aware of this. So fundamentally, on a personal level, this is about becoming aware of the deeper dimensions of ourself that we've casted away, you could say, right? That we've buried or disowned or pushed away, and what you might call casted into the shadows. Now, we don't really do this consciously, of course. This is an unconscious process. And during, our growth and development, we identify with certain aspects of our ego. We say, we're this way or that way. But that implies to the mind that there are these things that we are not. And these things that we are not get pushed into the subconscious here. And what these two constellations help us do is become more aware of these aspects of ourself that we've casted away. So great time with the sun, the moon, Jupiter here to become more aware of these deeper aspects of ourself that we've, let's say, pushed away, but more importantly, are just coming to the forefront that we may be aware of for the first time. And this could be aspects that we don't like, right? This is the hidden, the dark, the deep, the instinctual. But they are aspects of the self. And this is the important sort of theme of this, is becoming more accepting of these casted away aspects of self and of life. So great time to do this, to become aware more of the unconscious, to see what comes up, and to see what these parts of ourself are trying to communicate or wanting to express, but they aren't expressing their highest quality because we have pushed them away. We've resisted them. And when we push things away, we resist them, right? They aren't able to express themselves in healthy and balanced ways. It's more imbalanced, it's more unconscious, it's more reactionary. So as we do this work, this whole lunar month, really good time to do this, to accept the deeper aspects of ourself, the aspects of ourself we've casted away, and to see them as a important part of our true self that have a specific message, right? Have a specific part of our being that plays a very important role in our life path. And as we accept, love these aspects of ourself, we become much more actualized, individuated, holistic, right? And this is what this shadow work helps us do. So great time to do this. We'll likely be experiencing this in different ways. This could also be, of course, in interpersonal relationships. You know, a lot of times our own shadows get projected onto others. In fact, that's how we most often see our shadows, is projected in others. If we have any negative feelings about others or aspects of others we don't like or push away, it's a good indication that that's a part of our shadows we've also pushed away, part of ourselves there we pushed into the shadow. So great time for this interpersonal stuff as well, to get vulnerable with not only ourselves, but also relationships and with life. And this helps us connect to, again, our true self and what truly matters most in relationships, helps us connect more, right? And share on a deeper level. So new beginnings here. It's good to sit with the energy. We're all going to feel this in very different ways. Down below, I will put in the comment section which house this is for you personally, which area of life, to see where these new beginnings are taking place, but more than likely having to do with this deep work. So Jupiter being very close to this new moon does give this a bit of buoyancy, where it's deep, but it's like we have a bit of a top-down perspective with these things. So there could be some wisdom coming in about some of this stuff, or about this particular area of life for you. Could be quite open-minded, maybe some opportunities there. Again, that higher perspective, and just lots to learn in general. Jupiter just really is that planet of higher wisdom, higher knowledge, that when activated can really bestow that wisdom upon us, collectively about these deeper things, but again, whichever area this might be for you. All right, so along with this conjunction, we do have this square up to Mars and Neptune, who are also conjunct these 2 days, Thursday and Friday. And they're going to be in the square. So this is very different energy, right? Mars is that active side of ourselves. So with the square, we could be wanting to take action, but then in the square, there might be some frustrations. And with Neptune, is very opposite that. It's very much about taking a step back, being receptive, right? And so in the square, this could also go to the extreme of maybe doubts or uncertainty or de-energized energy. So it's definitely this mix of both, where we could feel energized, de-energized, frustrated, and also doubtful perhaps, right? Or initiating, and then also, but having also uncertainty. And this is the collective default. With that being said, the constructive way of working with it is to implement both of these energies in a conscious way. Being active, yet being receptive, intentfully, consciously, right? Following our instincts and our gut, which is what Mars represents, and also what Scorpio represents. Mars does rule Scorpio traditionally as well. So listening to our gut, our instincts, but at the same time, listening to our intuition, right? So the physical self messages and the intuitive, spiritual self messages, right? So really good time to do this. And the square is all about being conscious of these two aspects of our being and setting the intention to work with it constructively. All right, so good time to initiate, to be direct, but at the same time to be receptive to what is outside of our control, to what is greater than us, right? And being present and doing spiritual activities, getting rest, active, receptive, this kind of thing, really, really good with this square. All right, everyone, so that's the new moon in a nutshell. I would say it's a very important new moon with these, conjunction with Jupiter. It's very collective energy there. And this square to this very important conjunction we have between Mars and Neptune here this weekend. We also do have Mercury going direct right before the new moon on Thursday. So this shift really with whatever it is we've been mulling over or reworking these past few weeks could start to move forward now with Mercury going direct. So again, the new moon's kind of this lowest part of the lunar cycle, energy-wise and just in general. So it's just a good time to kind of pause, be flexible right now, see what new things are shaping up in our life so we can begin to implement whatever these new beginnings are as we get into the weekend and especially next week. All right, everyone. So that's the new moon. Fundamentally, great time for becoming aware of the deeper aspects of life. Also really good for research, anything else that involves spirituality, psychology, transformation, alchemical stuff. But again, I think fundamentally what these two constellations are about is about becoming aware of the aspects of life and of ourself that we've hidden away, casted away, that we can become aware of and accept. And even take action in the face of any fears. This is a great time to really see what are our fears. Because fears actually give a great message. Speaking of Jupiter and messages, when we let our fears kind of tell us, like, what are we afraid of? That is a very good indication of what's very important to us. Usually the things we're most afraid of or afraid of losing or not having are the things that are most important to us and represent our greatest, deepest desires and what's most important on that level. So also a great time for empowering ourselves through facing fears, whether it's within or through action, right? With the squares to Mars, good time for that. Action, initiative, directness, but at the same time being receptive with that square to Neptune. All right, everyone. So have a fantastic new moon. Don't forget to click that like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And thank you again for all of your support. And I will see you all for the weekend forecast here in a couple days. Take care.